Okay, we should be live. Just gonna make sure everything is working. I know it's an echo, but that's how we're starting today. Yeah, I caught you guys off guard with the echo, didn't I? Okay, we should be good to go. So we got weeks 5 and 6 today. I had both of the controllers' mics off by accident. I'm stupid. I had it on echo to start, but then I turned both of them off. I think we're good now, though. So I don't know why that happened, other than me being stupid. But yeah, week 5 we had the Patriots and Orbit. We've got an AFC East battle, and then week 6, according to my screen, the Eagles and Cowboys is winning by 1 vote. Unfortunately, it's still on echo. No, it's not. What the heck? Okay, so whenever I turn one controller's audio thing off, it automatically changes the other one. What did I do? You know what I did? I know exactly what I did. I forgot to plug my microphone into the PlayStation. So I think that's the issue. It should be working now. Alright, I'm just going to double check to make sure it is, but it should be. Okay, I think we're good now. Alright. Siri, give me a number between, let's go with 81 and 82. Siri, give me a number between 81 and 82. 82. Siri doesn't like the GOAT, Calvin. So the home team is the Orbits. So we will use them today. Why 81 and 82? Why not? Can we simcast this game? No, because that's not really fair to this game. Because these two teams were expecting to be watched the whole time. So I feel like that wouldn't really be fair. And plus, both of these teams are pretty good. So. Alright, New England wants red. Which ones are their red ones? These ones, like the cool alternate classics, I think. Do they have any other red ones in here? Or just the old ones? I guess just the old ones. I lost them. Where are they? There it is, right there. Is there still an echo? Okay. Why are my controllers being weird? Is it working now? Okay, I don't know what it's doing. There we go. I figured it out. Okay, now we should be good. There we go. Jeez, why did the microphone have to be weird? For the orbits, we can go with blue or white. This is hideous. This is the next installment of the away jersey, and it's looking horrible. I don't think we want to do that. All right, the mic is good. The teams are ready. Let's hop into it. We've got week 5. I think both of these teams are 3-1, right? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're both 3-1. New England has the honor of being the first team that we will have watched twice this year. We saw them in week 4, in which they beat the Bills in what ended up being one of the weirdest OFL games I can remember. I think Stephon Gilmore had 4 turnovers in the second half, and no, that is not exaggerating. He, as one player, forced 4 of them. As for the Orbits, they're 3-1. Mercy Mercado's been playing pretty well after a rough couple of first few weeks. So we'll see which one of these teams can take control of first place in the AFC East. Orbit's got a nice stadium, though. Even if their jerseys are kind of mid, they've got a good stadium. Thank God Hector isn't here, or else he would have demanded the entire stream be in horrible mic quality. He would have. We'll start with New England's offense. The neo-fascist Patriots, led by Josh Allen. He needs to be executed for treason. I believe that the Orlando Orbits and Mercy Mercado are the greatest things to ever happen in this league, and we need to bow down to them. I'll do my The Games drive here, if you can't already tell. Josh Allen looks to throw it. He is as much of a fraud as Kansas State head coach Jerome Tang is, because both of them can't do jack diddly squat when they're on the road. So we'll see if that holds up today against the Orlando Orbits. They play in Orlando. You know what else is in Orlando? Disney World. Although we can't really make the bubble meme anymore. I was talking about how great this stadium is. Yeah, that's a lie now that I realize that it's outside and in Orlando. Josh Allen is worse than that one guy who The Games likes to compare people to. Josh Allen is a complete neo-fascist who, I mean, you can put him with Vladimir Putin in Russia, and he would do just the same things that Putin is. Stalin? No, not Stalin. The other gentleman. Oh, wow, they actually got that first down. I didn't think he was past the line, but okay. These refs need to be executed, goddammit. They know nothing. Are these the same refs from the Bengals and Chiefs game? With those fraudulent no-call holdings? We paid the refs. Sorry, yeah, that sounds about right. How long am I going to do this impression for the rest of the drive, and then I'll stop. Josh Allen is 6 for 6. Now, he has not thrown a pass longer than like 5 yards, which makes him a fraud. But he is 6 for 6, which I guess is something. Here's Travis Etienne with a good run of about 8. He's having himself a nice season. Travis Etienne is the greatest OFL player of all time. I'm not over-exaggerating. It's true. He is my GOAT, and we shall bow down to him just as we bow down to our graceful commissioner. New England is at the 23. They're moving it pretty well. Yeah, I agree. Orlando, please get a stop, or New England, please score right now. I don't feel like doing this anymore. You know what? New England's offense is doing so well. Stop it. Stop the season. Book the championship parade for the Friday after the OFL Bowl. It's over. New England is the best team in our league. They're going to go 16-1. They're going to beat everybody 100-0 the rest of the way.
and will win the OFL Bowl over our Royal Commissioners Bengals, and I do not care that they are in the same conference. Those are the two best teams in our league, so they will face off in the championship game. That's exactly what's... Please score, New England. I don't feel like doing this anymore. Please. New England is the best team in existence. I know I said Josh Allen was a fraud at the beginning of the drive, but I am now a hypocrite. Josh Allen is the GOAT. I'm going to stop. Odell Beckham with the score. Octi saying graceful commissioner is like the Obama meme giving himself the medal. That's honestly kind of true. No, I'm done now. That's it. We're getting back to normal me. So, yeah, how's it going, guys? I don't really know where to start now. The Orbits are going to get their first possession. We'll get a look at Mercy Mercado, the rookie quarterback out of, I believe, LSU. I want to say. I could be wrong. Started off slow. He's played a little bit better. Hold on. That's not Mercy Mercado. That's definitely not Mercy Mercado. Okay. I know what to do. Because we're using the Orbits, right? So I can switch it. Yes, good thing we were using the Orbits. I don't know why it made Malik Willis the starter. Is it because the Orbits made like a trade and their depth chart reset? That would be stupid. But yeah, there you go. Mercy is starting. I don't know why the game did that. Well, good thing we watched the Orbits today, or else Malik Willis would have played in Week 5. Quick gain of 7. Not bad. For Miles Sanders. Put in Gamison. I speak for all of us when I say we do not want that. Yeah, I do have to fix it after the game. That's a good point, because this only affects this game. So, someone remind me after the game to switch it in case I forget, because I might. 3rd and 1. He is in bounds. I speak for all of us when I say we don't want ratio. Okay. Well, we do want this big play. I think that's Miles Sanders again. 26, yep. Do you guys remember the days when we had no offense? So, basically last weekend. Danny is the new Theo with Tua disrespect. Danny's asking for a timeout with the tuna slander. I mean, it's bolded in the rule book. We've had it in there for 3 years because we do not disrespect our Lord Tuna. I know I look like the games when I'm praising him, but Tuna's the exception. He deserves it. The voting is rigged. I tried to get you guys' game to win. I tried it. I did my best. But I'm a man of the people. Tuna, yes, Tuna the person, not Tuna the food. But he was still slandering Tuna, so it still counts. But there is a community college basketball player who goes by the nickname Big Tuna, who is our king. Kevin Shasha, #1 receiver next year. I mean, who are all the receivers in the 2024 class? Off the top of my head, I guess Marvin Harrison and Ibuka. Xavier Worthy is probably pretty high. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. But those guys are pretty good. Bro said, who is Tuna? He is uncultured. True that. Mercado looking for the end zone. That's broken up by Stephon Gilmore, who had himself a big day last week. I meant in the OFL. Yeah, since we're using the real-life draft classes, it would be those same guys, along with maybe you or other user players. Put Tuna in the class. Nick, you heard the man. I don't watch basketball, let alone college basketball. Well, even like 99.99999% of college basketball fans have never heard of him. But yeah, he's our king. I was going for a Russell Wilson vibe with him, so he is supposed to cook. Will he burn down the kitchen, though? That's the question. Love big tuna. See, Nickinator knows ball. Right away, he loves big tuna. Big tuna is him, he is Himothy. See, you guys know what's up. The Orbits have my real-life cousin on their team. Oh, so are the Orbits going to be the team where Isaiah Thomas requests a trade to in 2 years? Wink, wink. Act like Gus Johnson. Oh, he made the kick! Okay, that's it. Six foot, fast, big arm, bad throwing, medium, good with pressure coming in. Well, I guess that'd be old Russ. Maybe not Broncos Russ, but old Russ, yes. So New England gets the ball back. They had a good first drive. Josh Allen went, I think, 10 for 10. Madden 12. Wait, Madden 12 has Gus Johnson commentary? I didn't know this. I thought they had Jim Nantz and Phil Simms still. I didn't know they had Gus in the game. Why did Madden 12 was on the poll? Why didn't we do that? I love the idea of Octi's parents hearing him scream and think, what the hell is he doing in there? Oh, they've gotten used to it. I had no clue Gus was in Madden 12, though. I could have sworn it was Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. But maybe I'm wrong. They had Gus and Chris Collinsworth. Now I feel like I do remember Chris Collinsworth being in the game. I don't remember Gus being there, though. Huh. You learn something new every day. Gus and Chris Collinsworth is kind of a weird duo. But, I mean, it has Gus, so at least the play itself will be exciting. Why isn't Darnell Washington starting? Why wouldn't he be? I mean, it could have been a two tight end set where the other tight end caught the pass. So that was probably why he made a play. Or maybe Washington's hurt. That could be the case too. I don't know. Do your parents support your YouTube? Well, they support me doing it. I don't think if I told them that this is what I want to pursue as my career, I think they'd be a little bit concerned. But, I mean, they support me doing it. Chris Collinsworth sucking onto a random quarterback and Gus just being him. Here's Josh Allen. Looks to throw it. Oh, what a play by Mahomes! As Josh Allen gets 13. Oh my goodness, Mahomes just took a breath. That might be the greatest breath I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, here's a guy who is the greatest quarterback to ever have existed. I wouldn't call Mahomes random. Yeah, Mahomes isn't random, but Gus Johnson sucks him off, so. I mean, I don't make that much money off of it to, like, live. At least not yet. Hint, hint. Hopefully that eventually changes, but right now I don't make, like, that much. I mean, I make a good amount, but nothing to live off of. Imagine Chris Collinsworth and Tony Romo. Who would do play-by-play in that group, though? I mean, I guess you can have a play-by-play guy and then two color analysts. Monday Night Football did it before they had Buck and Troy. Wow, Josh Allen had 15 seconds to throw. Your dad's convinced you should start a sports podcast. I keep trying to tell him there's a ton of competition. I mean, there is a lot of competition, but you can also make it work if you're good at it. Another nice throw by Josh Allen. That goes to Travis Etienne for the touchdown. Good drive by New England. Josh Allen looks pretty good. Gus is play-by-play, Collinsworth is color commentary, and Octi is the sideline guy. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I'm in. Let's ride. So now it's time to see what the Orbits can do here. They are down by 11. They do start the ball in the second half, but it would certainly benefit them to score here. And they do have all 3 timeouts with about a minute on the clock. Mercy is 6 for 9. Nice. We want to watch Christian Ponder and Sam Bradford become MVP contenders next OFL. If the people want it, I'm in. I wanted to do retro this year. Although I've enjoyed Madden 23, albeit we've done 4 weeks. But I originally wanted to do retro. You've tried doing YouTube stuff, generally pretty funny and charismatic dude, but you're not good at talking to yourself. Yeah, I can get that. But I think if you can try to get a groove with it, and once you get used to it, I feel like eventually you get pretty good at it. At least I would say that's been the case with me. Albeit I've been doing this for 7 years, but still, eventually, once you feel confident in it, I feel like that's when you get good at it. And keep in mind, I started when I was 13, so there's only I can only be so good when I'm that young. Which, in other words, I was not good when I started out. Put it that way. Josh Allen floats one up, and it is intercepted. That might be the first incompletion of the game by Josh Allen. It's going to be a little more than an incompletion. This one's going to go to the house. A pick 6 with no flags for Cameron Dantzler. And the Orbits are back in the game just like that. I thought the receiver was going to catch that. Was that ETN who was trying to get it to? I can't really tell. I mean, he did throw that in double coverage. No, that's not ETN. But he just kind of heaved it up. And Cameron Dantzler takes it to the house. I guess he would have gotten Superstar during the sim year. Because obviously he wouldn't have Superstar to begin with. AFC Championship between Jake Locker and Colt McCoy. And NFC Championship between Josh Freeman and Christian Ponder. What is this alternate universe that we've gotten into? Josh Allen playing brain dead another week. I mean, Josh Allen's been really good before that throw, to be fair. They're probably just going to run the clock out, right? I would think. No balls. Run a real play. Oh, they're just running the ball. Okay. All right, so that'll wrap up the first half. I feel like New England has definitely been the better team, but the pick 6 by Cameron Dantzler has kind of flipped this game on its side, and it's put the Orbits right back in it. And Orlando does start with the ball in the second half, so if they can capitalize off of the momentum, off of the turnover, then they can certainly get back into the game. But we've got to see their offense score more than 3 points, so we'll see if Mercy Mercado has something up his sleeve. Terrell Pryor is in the game with 90 speed. Sadly, he's not very accurate throwing it. Would he be still a quarterback at that time, or was that before he moved to wide receiver? He would certainly be a fun quarterback to develop. I think back then you couldn't make anybody any position, so I don't think he could switch a wide receiver to a quarterback. If you don't draft Kevin Shasha Jr. in the 7th round for the Titans franchise, you're a neo-fascist. Oh, no! I'll be a neo-fascist GM. Pryor was a rookie, so he would have still been a quarterback, right? Because he was drafted in the supplemental draft as a QB, I think. 3rd down, Matthew Judon, built by Taco Bell, with half a sack. Isn't that what Matt Judon said in his Sunday night introduction? Something about being built by Taco Bell? Anyway, New England's going to get the ball back after the turnover. We'll see if they can look to rebound. still feel like New England has control despite the late turnover, which has put a damper into their plans. I wonder if old Nine of Julian Edelman is a viable quarterback. I mean, I would assume his throwing stats aren't that bad. Body built by Taco Bell, that's what it was, yeah. I knew it was something like that. I mean, Julian Edelman started at quarterback in college, right? He was their starter. So, he has to have somewhat decent throwing stats. Nothing to look twice at, but not horrible. Signed Pryor to be my third string behind Colt McCoy and Seneca Wallace. What a beautiful QB room. Wonder how good Travis Kelce will be. He was a high school quarterback. Yeah, that's right, he was. So his throwing stats are probably a little bit worse, but still better than like the average player. Josh Allen has not thrown a ball that has not been caught. Every pass he's thrown today has been caught. Which is odd because last week he was super inaccurate. Need Adam 12 to go back to the Joe Flacco days. He's elite, and to prevent the neo-fascist Greg Roman from ever getting a job. Imagine if Joe Flacco stayed good after he signed that contract. There's the annual screen that works out horribly play for the day. Travis Etienne with his 7th catch of the game, and he loses 3. Nakobe Dean brings him down. Ooh, nearly intercepted. That's the first incompletion that Josh Allen has thrown that hasn't been caught by somebody. So New England's going to go for the kick. 55 yards, and it is good. Nice kick. Who's their kicker? I know they have Jack Fox on their team. Is that Matt Gay? Oh, he barely got that one, too. Flacco has the original woman respecter, Ray Rice. The second best criminal that they had named Ray. Yes, because well-known Ravens criminal Ray McLeod is even better. That looks wide and under. The ball very clearly was behind the goal thing, which means it's a good kick. So, he definitely made the kick. It's still a one-score game, though. The Orbits are not out of it, even if their offense has been pretty uninspiring for the most part. There's another sack on 3rd down, and the rough start for the Orlando offense continues as Christian Wilkins makes the play. New England can really put themselves in control with more points here. Their defense has been really good today. Ray Rice reading the script for the 2014 season. Those reading the script memes that have come out these last few days are, like, hilarious. Don't name your child Ray if you live in Baltimore. Baltimore loves Ray Lewis, though. Why wouldn't they like Ray? And some of those fans still like Ray Rice. What do you think about an out-of-position fantasy draft? Imagine if we did that for OFL, like switch everybody's positions prior to the fantasy draft. That would be interesting. Might be a little hard to watch, but it would certainly be interesting. Put it that way. Bench for Willis, please. Well, we don't switch depth charts in-game because we can't do it for both teams. The only reason why we did it at the beginning is because Mercado was supposed to be the starter. I can keep Malik Willis as your starter going into Week 6 if you want. I can do that. Ray is now 36. Ray Rice is 36? Holy cow. Really? When was was he drafted? Like 2008, 2009? That still seems old. He's 36? Ray Rice is, in fact, 36 years old. Huh. You learn something new every day. I would have guessed he's like no older than 33. As that'll wrap up the third, New England leads 17-10. The Patriots have the ball. They're looking good here as they try to win their second consecutive watch game. Me reading the OFL script before every year. I'm the one who writes the script, keep in mind. I'm the reason why the Vikings never got out of the divisional round last year. New England does look like they're for real. They played well in the sim. They even beat us. And they're playing well in watch. So it looks like New England could be a threat when we get to the playoffs. Who do we use? We use the Orbits. 3rd and 1. Yup, he got it. Not by much, but he got it. Act like Romeo. Okay. Blah. I'm dead. Is that a good impression? That's pretty good. If I had a face cam, I'd pretend to like... Did Romeo stab himself or did he drink like poison? I don't remember. He did one of those things. I would reenact that. That'd be my Romeo. AJ Terrell reading the wild card script against the Giants. I didn't put that part in the script. Put it that way. Does O or P come first? I don't know. You tell me. The Patriots really have Josh Allen at quarterback to make 4-yard passes. And to be fair, they are winning. But, yeah, Josh Allen is mostly throwing checkdowns today. Bet he's going to throw it to the running back. Oh, he doesn't. He actually threw it 10 yards downfield. Pioneers reading the script when they go 8-0 just to not make the playoffs. That's a good one. That was funny and sad at the same time. He stabbed himself. Juliet drank the poison to fake her own death and then stabbed herself. Well, how did she drink poison to fake it? I feel like I remember her faking it now. But if she drank the poison, wouldn't she have died from that? Or did she drink something else that looked like poison? I don't remember, but it's something like that. Romeo is a Riz god. That's kind of true. He's also a simp because he stabbed himself for her. So that's like the biggest simp energy I've ever seen. Which, I mean, good on you, I guess. It put her in a short coma. Oh, so she did that first, right? And then Romeo saw, and then he stabbed himself. And then she saw that he was dead, and she stabbed herself. I feel like that's what happened, right? Now I feel like I'm remembering it. Wasn't the girl like 14 and Romeo 40? Honestly, with how people acted back then, I really wouldn't be surprised. Shakespeare was kind of twisted, wasn't he? So that would kind of make sense. They were both 14/middle school age. That might be even worse. A middle schooler, or two middle schoolers, stabbing each other for their love when they're 14. That seems a little bit rash. Juliet was 12. God damn, that's young. Romeo 16, Juliet 13. Now that's probably not even legal. How do they let Romeo do that? That's a 3-year difference. That's kind of a big deal. Denmark reading the script for the season that had him stay in the shed for 20 hours. He wanted to do that. Me 14, Octi 19. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not interested, for what it's worth. Imagine seeing your girl dead, killing yourself, and then she ends up being alive. Well, Shakespeare came up with that idea because he's a weirdo. There's another screen, and wow, it didn't work. Who could have guessed that? Surprised it got positive yards, I guess. They kind of got to move quick. There's 3 minutes left on the clock, and the Orbits are out here running screens. If I was them, I'd look to go a little more downfield. Neither team has been willing to go downfield at all today. Imagine if Shakespeare wrote the OFL script. Dear Lord. Mercado, Mercado, where art thou, Mercado? Mercado is actually kind of like a Shakespearean name. So, that would actually kind of work. I don't think Josh Allen is very Shakespearean, but Mercy Mercado is. Mercy Mercado is the black Zach Wilson, but instead of sleeping with his friends' moms, Mercy sleeps with his friends' dads. That's definitely something that Shakespeare would put in the script, I'm not going to lie. Josh Allen would probably kill Bill Belichick. And then Matt Patricia would have been dead by like the preseason if it was up to him. 2-minute warning. The Orbits are treating this as if there's 2 minutes left in the first quarter of how they're trying to move down the field. Theo reading his OFL 20 script, seeing how he gets banned. Well, props to Theo for following the script. Wow, Mercado actually threw it downfield. That was not a bad throw, but a good defensive play. Who is Theo? He's pretty much Hector, but if Hector, like, how do I describe it? If all Hector cared about was his own self-image, which is like kind of the last thing Hector cares about. Nice touchdown for the Orbits. They're still in it, I guess. Myles Garrett for Joe Mixon straight up. I think that can be arranged. Sorry, Joe. It's been real. Joe needs to go on the Vikings because that's where all the criminals go. You know who pisses me off? Dak Prescott. Pisses you off as in, like, is overrated? I agree. So they're not going to go for the onside kick. They're going to trust their defense to get a stop. The Orbits have stopped the run today. So I don't entirely blame them. Travis Etienne only has 29 receiving yards. It feels like he's caught like 8 passes. And he's had some longish catches, hasn't he? Octi reading the OFL 20 script, seeing that is to deal with 7 burner accounts. Well, it was worth it for the 3 championships. And now we also know what to do in that situation, that we've experienced it. So I don't think it's a bad thing that whole situation happened. 3rd and 2. This is it. If New England gets a first down, it's game over. Imagine if your parents force you to tutor. Why would they force me to tutor people? And it's you, Danny, Omni, and Theo. I would illegally buy alcohol. That's what I would do. Who I give it to, I do not know. But someone's drinking it. All right, so New England gets the first down. They will win here 24-17, a pretty close game. I don't think the game was as close as the scores... I don't think the game was as close as the score suggests. I thought New England played quite a bit better. But the Orbits stayed in it the entire time, so I guess you got to give them credit in that sense. Josh Allen was efficient. I guess that's the way to put it. He didn't wow us, but he was efficient. And then Mercado was fine. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but other than that last drive, I wouldn't say he was great. I feel like both offenses were pretty underwhelming, I would say, for the most part. Which is a little bit surprising, considering the offense we had in the last stream. The only slider changes I really touched on were fumbles and interceptions, and I brought both of those down. So, there were less turnovers today. There was only 1. But it is sim time. Did you make sure to make Stetson Bennett CB8? Did you change his position to corner? Before we sim for Week 6, Bacher, who do you want to start at quarterback next week, Willis or Mercado? Or I guess we can do that after we sim. It's fine. But which one of those guys do you want to start? Because I can change it if you want me to change it. All right, please win, team. We play Seattle. I don't have a great feeling about this. Carolina beats the Golden Eagles 31-10. The Orbit Stadium is called Galaxy Stadium. I mean, it's kind of corny, but It's better than Orbit's Field. So, Mercado. Okay, I'll switch it once we go through the box scores. P.J. Walker was mid, as was Jacoby Brissett. Terry McLaurin and Hector Dortstrada played well. Look at Hector, 6 for 102 in his Mexico debut. A lot of sacks for Carolina. A lot of sacks. The Patriots obviously won. The Raiders, wow, I'm a little bit surprised by this. The Raiders quietly have 4 first-round picks. Just wanted to throw that out there. While the Chargers appear to legitimately be not very good. Justin Herbert played horribly. The Chargers didn't run the ball. What was Justice Hill their starter? Oh, Aaron Jones might be hurt. That's probably why. Gabe Davis had himself a day, as the Chargers are the only team to not win a game. Poor Chargers. They have a good roster. I don't know how they're 0-5. The Rams beat the Niners 31-23. Jalen Waddle's debut with the Rams. Deebo Samuel's debut with the Niners, as Dak outplays the rookie Travis Flight. Can Greg Dortch play through injury? Probably not. Nice amount of yards for Saquon Barkley. How did the new receivers do? Deebo was pretty good, while Waddle did like nothing. Waddle did more than Jamar Chase did in the watch game, though. I don't think I said his name once. The Ravens beat the Oilers 28-25. Isaiah Thomas and Sam Darnold played just about evenly. Romeo Doubs had the big game this time. Calvin Mentor, a little quiet for his standards, but still very solid. You all wanted to watch mid. Yes, because we haven't watched that iteration of mid yet. Oh! 51. You guys have some explaining to do. I get that it's Patrick Mahomes, but yikes. Yikes. At least Joe Mixon was solid with limited touches. TJ Hawkinson. Why is Rashad Bateman our best receiver? This makes no sense. I have Jamison Williams in the slot. JMO did catch 7 passes. T. Higgins has done nothing this year. Why is Rashad Bateman so good? I don't get it. Our defense did nothing, obviously. I mean, we allowed 51 points, so that'll happen. The Snowhawks lose to the Lions 16-7. Can we just play Zach Wilson every week? That would be nice. Or Justin Fields. Because both of them are not very good. Did Frank have 2 sacks? No, he didn't. Hold on, I gotta go back and see this. If we allowed 2 sacks to Frank, then geez. I am embarrassed by this. We allowed 51 points, and to make matters worse, we had Frank Jones sack Corral twice. Why is this team like this? Our defense is like the strength of my roster, I thought. You said T. Higgins has done literally nothing as I scored an 86-yard touchdown. I'm jealous. I am jealous. The Steamers lose to the Colts 14-9. Why can't our defense play like this? Matt Corral's back must be in pain because he has had to carry our team this year. The Steelers lose their 3rd straight, falling to the Texans. Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow were both pretty mid. Really, everybody was mid. Battle of mid. But a nice one for Houston. 38-21, the Dreadnoughts beat the Tennessee Titans, who have completely destroyed their roster. We'll see if it pays off. Bailey Zappi got sacked 5 times, and he's still balled out. Bailey Zappi is kind of good. Rashee Rice, wide receiver 1 for the Titans offense with 100 yards. And then Von Miller, 3.5 sacks. That's a lot. The Vikings beat the Explorers 35-7. I think Minnesota's pretty good. Tua Tagovailoa throws 3 touchdowns, while Hector was pretty mid. Where's Dameon Pierce? He had 8 carries for 18 yards. While Tony Pollard actually played kind of well. Let me run an OFL Xbox version. You can do whatever you want with that. 2 sacks for Kayvon Thibodeau and Jalen Carter. We saw that monstrosity. The Bills beat the Jets 38-24. Trevor Lawrence plays a lot better today, throwing for 5 touchdowns, while Geno was pretty average. Devontae Smith, pretty good in his Bills debut. Can you make sure I'm wide receiver 1? Did the Oilers have you as wide receiver 1 on their depth chart? I mean, you're certainly playing like wide receiver 1, minus this week. The Broncos lose to the Monarchs, 24-10. Who won? Us or the Cowboys? I think the Cowboys won. I think. I'll double check. Kenny Pickett was not good today. The Broncos roster is, like, particularly on offense, it's not very good. Yet, since the entire AFC West is, like, awful, Denver should win the division, realistically. I mean, the Snowhawks have Zach Wilson, the Raiders are actively tanking, and the Chargers are 0-5. The Cougars beat the Commanders 24-21. Mac Jones was solid, although Russ cooked. The Cowboys lose to the Desperados 24-21. Wonder how many times. Why did Deshaun Watson throw the ball 13 times? Well, it looks like Nick Chubb got the ball. Not really. How many plays did Dallas have on offense? They had like 30 snaps. What was the time of possession? Yeah, that sounds about right. Nick Chubb balled out, though. It's not like they gave somebody else the ball. Nick Chubb had the ball half of Dallas's offensive snaps. It's just that they barely had any offensive snaps. So, obviously, Dallas is going to be at the top of all these defensive stats. T.J. Watt played well. I think Nick has fired 4 coordinators through the first 5 weeks of the year. That's, like, impressive. The Eagles beat the Nighthawks 24-21. Oh, yikes. C.J. Stroud did not play very well. He got picked off 4 times. Who had all the interceptions? Jordan Brooks, Deshaun Elliott, Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, and Chidobe Awuzie. Wow, the Niners are 1-4. I didn't realize that. Have we seen everybody? I believe we have. Who did we start with? We started with the Orbit, so we have gotten to everybody. All right, let's look at the players of the week here for week 5. Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Carl Lawson, and Fred Warner. I don't do playbook changes midstream. I only do those after streams. There is only 3 teams right now who are 4-1. The Cougars, the Pats, and the Vikings. And there's a lot of teams in the middle. Over half the league is 3-2. And then only 4 teams have less than 2 wins, being San Francisco, Portland, the Jets, and the 0-5 Los Angeles Chargers. So that'll bring us into week 6. I believe the Dallas game still is winning. Yep, we're going to do Dallas and the Eagles. Siri, give me a whole number between 422 and 423. No, I'm not looking for 845. Siri, give me a whole number between 422 and 440. Nope, I got it wrong. Hold on. Siri, give me a whole number between 422 and 423. There we go. That's not what I want. Siri, give me a whole number between 422 and 423. 423, thank God. Who's home? The Eagles are home. We're going to use the Eagles. Simcast does. No. You guys should have won the vote. I tried to help you out. I did my best, okay? So if this game ends up being, like, bad, just know I was right. I don't think this game's going to be bad, so I guess I shouldn't really say that, but normal whites for Dallas and Kelly Green. So these ones, the 1980s ones, or do you want like the different one? Yeah, we want this. This is real football. 1980s. Okie dokie. Neo-fascist Siri. All right, that'll bring us into Week 6 here, headed to the link. The 3-2 Philadelphia Eagles face off against, I believe, the 2-3 Dallas Cowboys. Nick Chubb is averaging about 10 yards a carry this year because it feels like he's getting 10 carries a game. While the Eagles have been a little bit streaky this year, but they're coming off a nice win in which they intercepted C.J. Stroud not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4. And they have Chidobe Awuzie, so they're automatically going to get like 10 wins this year just for having him on their roster. The Eagles will start with the football, so we'll get a look at Bryce Young. We've watched these teams already this year. We saw the Eagles in Week 2, in which they beat the Commanders, and we saw the Cowboys lose in Week 1 to the Cougars. So we've already seen both of these teams. The sliders are a lot different, so we should see both of these offenses excel a little bit more. Do we play you this season? I don't think so. Probably not. Which is unfortunate because that'd be an instant classic. There may actually be touchdowns today. I don't want to say will. I don't want to jump the gun, but there may be touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey looks right in that jersey. I don't know why. He just does. Come on, Bryce, beat the fascists. I have like 7 primetime games. I don't think that's true. I think the Cougars have like 7. Bryce Young has to throw it away. He's under a lot of pressure, probably from T.J. Watt. I don't know who else that would be. And now it is a 3rd and 5. Bryce Young dancing in the pocket. Nope. He was under pressure from number 7, David Ojabo. So now we'll get to see which creative way Dallas's offense musters up 13 points today. Nearly a water punt. That was close. And here is well-known women respecter Deshaun Watson. He wears number 4, but he really should be wearing number 24, and I don't need to explain why. Dallas' offense has been pretty mediocre this year, mainly because they refuse to use their best player in whatever interesting way they do so, whether it's because of the wrong playbook or, in last week's case, only having 30 offensive plays the entire game. 24 is Chubb's number. No, I don't care. He gets nothing on the first carry, though. You get any quarterback of all time as a rookie. Who are you drafting? So basically like the best rookie quarterback ever. 2022 Brock Purdy. No, I'm kidding. I mean, statistically, the best rookie quarterback in terms of numbers is probably Justin Herbert, right? Well, no, you get to keep them. So pretty much like the best quarterback ever. So in that case, I'm picking Patrick Mahomes. I'm mostly kidding about the best quarterback ever part, but I would probably still choose him. I will not, in good conscience, pick Tom Brady. Dallas is giving the ball to their best player so far, and while they're moving it down the field, they give it to him again, and this time he gets nothing. Nick Chubb is averaging under 3 yards a carry. He's a fraud who needs to be executed immediately. Give me RG3. That's a good answer. I was thinking about RG3 when I first thought it was just like the best rookie quarterback ever. Because rookie RG3 was him. He was so fun. Felt like he never got hurt. Mikal Bridges just postered Jalen Duren. Congratulations, your team is still mid. I guess it's better than us, but still mid. Saban Lee just hit a 3 on Sadiq. I'm proud of Saban Lee. Good for him. He deserves this. If only RG3 played in a real organization. Imagine if Washington never traded up and he just ended up with the Rams. Then again, his head coach would have been Jeff Fisher, so I don't think it would have been much better. Deshaun Watson is 5 for 5. I really don't know what else to do with my team. Hope they do good, I guess. And if they don't do good, then change it up in the offseason. I don't know. Here's Nick Chubb. He still has been kind of quiet as DeMarvion Overshown is hurt. Hook him. Paulo is better than anyone on the Pistons. I won't disagree with you there. You're probably right. Y'all know horses can ride in planes. Of course horses can ride in planes. There was a plane of like 50 Broncos in the air sailing to London, and in the aisle with those 50 Broncos, there was a guy doing high knees saying, "Broncos country, let's ride." But no, I did not know actual horses could ride planes. That's pretty cool. So Dallas drives down the field and scores with a 13-play drive. Pistons shouldn't draft Scoot because they already have a point guard. If the Pistons get picked 2 and don't pick Scoot, then there are like legitimate problems because in basketball, drafting for need is like basically saying, if I'm a GM, that's basically saying I want to get fired. I think the run blocking is close to 100. So, I mean, I'll adjust it after the stream if it's not, but I think it's pretty high. It should be high. If not, then, well, it should be. Cade can play the 4, exactly. He's not that small for the 4, 6'6". He's strong enough to hang with those guys. He can do it. Have Scoot at the 1, Jaden Ivey at the 2, trade for Jaylen Brown, get him at the 3, Darn at the 5. Boom! That's perfect. Thoughts on Azuolas to Bayless? Jalen Wilson clears him. Cade is not 6. You're right, he's like 6'7", 6'8". Although I thought that he was originally like 6'8", and then when he got here, he was measured in as 6'6". But he's somewhere in that range, 6'6 to 6'8", in the ballpark. So in other words, if he trained to play the 4, maybe he could do it while still running the offense. Now the Eagles have a nice little drive. They get it to the 27. CMC doing his thing. Looking like a top 10 fantasy draft pick. And that'll wrap up the first quarter. Dallas leads 7-0, but the Eagles have it in the red zone. They're looking to score. Amon-Ra St. Brown making the play. If the Pistons sign me to a 10-day, what's your reaction? My reaction is, can you play defense? And if you can, then I'm in. That could have been intercepted if the defensive back got there quick enough. He could have made a play on that ball. Honestly, should have made a play. Real reason why D'Amico rejected Denver is he didn't want to get woken up on team flights by a dude yelling, "Broncos country! Let's ride!" As the Eagles are riding into the end zone with a touchdown, and it's Zayden Sparks, the former user player who now is a coach, but good play. I have stood next to him, and I have friends that are 6'5", and he is every bit as 6'7". Well, that's good. The taller he is, the better. I think we have him measured at 6'6", but I remember before the draft, people were saying he was 6'7", 6'8". So, as long as he's in the ballpark of that range. Wait till I can play defense next season. Just give me the rest of the time with their personal trainer. I'll be the white Jose Alvarado. Why don't more people do what Jose Alvarado does? Like, I get maybe people will catch on, but they haven't caught on to Jose Alvarado, really. So just make it work. No, I missed my touchdown. You should have seen what happened. Bryce Young ran through the entire Cowboys defense, and all 11 of their players got injured. It was crazy. So now Dallas doesn't have a defense if they're all injured. The backups got injured too, watching the starters get hurt. 3rd and 2. I think they gave it to him. Yep. I don't think he's in bounds. Wow, they're going to give it to him. A rare time where EA's going to help Nick out. I don't think he got both in after he caught the ball. And there goes Nick Chubb on the very next play with a nice gain of 20. White Jose is kind of TJ McConnell. You might be onto something. TJ McConnell is a surprisingly good defender. He's like a good player, which is kind of odd. He was one of the original Trust for Process Sixers, and he's like actually become a serviceable backup point guard. That's going to be a hold. They're going to move back a good 15. Penei Sewell is called for the flag. Javon Carter is a rich man's Gary Payton. Don't disrespect Javon Carter like that. I don't think Gary Payton ever led Press Virginia. As Miles Murphy gets another sack. I feel like he got a sack last week, too. Last week is in, like, last week when we saw them play the Commanders. So, like, week 2. Which is definitely not last week in the game, but oh well. Now Dallas is a 3rd and 26. So they got all the receivers to the right. I can't wait to see what they have up in store this play. Nothing. Deshaun Watson's under too much pressure and throws it away. Okay. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see something cool happen in that play. So the Eagles are going to get the ball back. It's a touchback. 3rd and 26. Calls for a tight end screen. EA would totally do that. Deshaun Watson did not get a happy ending on that drive. That is true. What a catch. I think he came down with it. Yes, he did. Christian McCaffrey puts number 8 on a poster. So McCaffrey gets rewarded with another carry, and he gets 3. Mr. Cannon with a deep ball. Bryce Young had to use all 87 of his throw power on that play. Third and 6. I don't know. Did he get forward progress? He doesn't. The Eagles should punch this in. Give it to... Just let Bryce Young keep you sneaking. If they kick, I swear, oh my Lord. You would rather kick a 54-yard field goal than punch it in on 4th and inches. I don't even care if they make the kick. That kick looks good. And it is good. That's still a horrible call. I don't care that he made it. Nice kick, but... That almost didn't even look like it was good. That was close. But, geez. Punch it in. I get that, like, McCaffrey isn't, like, a tough physical power runner, and I get that Bryce Young is small, but find a big guy to just give the ball to and let him get, like, a foot. Nick Chubb has 62 carries for 500 yards. That sounds about right. Jake Elliott is your kicker. Well, Jake Elliott does have a boot, so I guess that makes sense. But even so, give it to one of the big fellas and get out of the way. Frank has arrived. Frank also had the luxury of only going up against Colton Miller, who is mid in this game. So Congrats on owning Colton Miller, I guess. Watson nearly intercepted. The defensive back should have tried to catch the ball. Yeah, but Colton Miller is my left guard. So I have Quentin Nelson at left tackle. So he did not own Quentin Nelson. Because Quentin Nelson plays tackle for me, and Colton Miller plays at guard. So I hate to burst your bubble, but I have Quentin Nelson on the outside. Watson heaves up a prayer, and it is caught by C.D. Lamb at the 8-yard line. Wow. That's a pretty big play. Did he have two guys on him? I want to see this in close-up. Chidobe, what are you doing? Well, if you don't want Chidobe, I'll take him. Look at the stats. Stats don't lie. If Quentin Nelson allowed those 2 sacks, then I'll hand you your flowers. That would be impressive. Oh, Quentin Nelson actually did allow 2 sacks. Okay. I'll give you your credit. That's impressive then. I don't know how Quentin Nelson allowed those at tackle, but he did it. As Dallas appears to have trouble punching it in. And then on 3rd and goal, what does Watson have up his sleeve here? Dancing in the pocket, and he connects for a touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones with the score. Good play by Watson. And so Dallas will regain the lead with 1:04 left in the half. Too much time. The Eagles do have all 3 timeouts. They certainly have enough time, so we'll see if Philadelphia, what they've got up in sleeve here. You know, if I was the Eagles, I would just give Amon-Ra the ball every play. Just let him play Wildcat and just get out of the way. Give him room to run. That's what I would do. Let Amon-Ra go to work. Is that Amon-Ra? Did I just, kind of call it? Or no, they have A.J. Brown. No, I think that's A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown wears number 8, which is weird. Because I think Amon-Ra is only a superstar. Yeah, I think that's A.J. Brown. Did you miss the impressions? Yeah, I did another one for the games at the beginning, on the very first drive of the stream. Did I not change his number? I forgot to do that. So I will do that after. There's A.J. Brown again. To the 19. Who is number 8? He is getting cooked. Is that Jalen Johnson? He is getting rocked out there. A.J. Brown is in the zone, as he should be. Another good play. Now they have the 3. Call your timeout. The Eagles should not send the field goal team on the field. Don't be wusses. Run another couple offensive plays. You know what? I don't think they will kick. I think they're going to bring the offense back out, as they should. Just make sure the ball's not in play. Which at the 3-yard line, it's kind of hard to do. Who throws screens on the 3? Oh, they did it. And it worked. Okay. Christian McCaffrey with the touchdown. And the Eagles are back on top here to end the first half. A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra on the same team is pretty pog. So, Philly, interested in sliding us over A.J. Brown just so we can make this happen in real life? We'll give you Quintez Cephas. He's a cool little receiver. He might be slow, but he's cool. Bryce Young, that was like a 1-minute drive, let alone 2 minutes. That was impressive. So I assume Dallas is just going to run the clock out. They do have Nick Chubb, so who knows? Anything can happen on this play. They might run a Hail Mary now, yeah. My friend did a Bears franchise, and he made Quintez Cephas into a top 10 receiver and an X Factor. Exactly. The Eagles should completely do that. A.J. Brown for Quintez Cephas. Who says no? That seems great. I honestly forgot he existed. I don't blame him because he hasn't played this year. Watson, if that's a pass interference, I swear. Oh my goodness, it's a defensive pass interference, and Dallas is going to get a play at the 1 or the 4. Close enough. Wow. So Dallas gets 3 points for free. This has been a good game. You know what? I know it's early, but I'll give you guys your flowers. You guys might have been right about this. 17-17. What a fun final minute for both teams, I guess. Okay. I still think the Golden Eagles and Oilers would have been pretty fun, though. But, yeah, this has been a very good game. It's not that I didn't want to watch this. It's just that I wanted to watch that game more. It was nothing against this. First successful Hail Mary of OFL 22 or OFL 23, yeah. Even though it wasn't caught, but I mean it was still a successful Hail Mary, was it not? So Dallas returns after their last drive, which they got 3 points for free. We'll see if they can score some more points here and regain the lead. I don't know if I'd say Nick Chubb has been booty, but he has been pretty mediocre today. I would have expected more from him. Especially considering McCaffrey on the other side's been quite good. There's Greg Dulcich with the first down. Deshaun's having a good game. He's playing well. As is Bryce Young. Both quarterbacks look good. Known juke move artist Greg Dulcich. Who's in the zone? Is that Kenny Clark? That is not good for Dallas's offense. There's Greg Dulcich again, eating Papa John's and watching OFL. That sounds like the life. You are living it, my friend. 3rd and 2, he's not going to get it. That's not all Nick Chubb. That's just horrible blocking. Jordan Brooks, who had the pass interference on the Hail Mary, gets the stop, and I don't think Dallas is going to bring the offense back. They're going to punt it. Why would you run it? Probably because it's 3rd and short, and you have Nick Chubb on your team, and you should be able to get it. That is a really bad punt, and so the Eagles are going to start at the 31. Kick the field goal. This is practically the field position that the Eagles would get if Dallas missed a field goal. Nice move by CMC. He's continuing to ball out. He has more yards than Nick Chubb on way less carries, which is the total opposite of how Nick Chubb's season is going. AJ is still in the zone. And then McCaffrey loses 5. 93. Is that the big fella? It is. Jordan Davis brings him down. Back to McCaffrey. He'll make up the yardage from the loss, but not much more. Now 3rd and 8. What does it take for AJ to get out of the zone? There's a sack. T.J. Watt brings down Bryce Young. So both defenses start the second half with big stops. T.J. Watt does in fact exist. Davis in a Cowboys jersey has to be a war crime. Nearly a what a punt. And so the Cowboys offense is back. Watson. That should have been intercepted. Did that bonk off of his helmet? I think that bonked off the defender's helmet. Wide receivers only lose it if they don't get thrown to or drop it. So basically just keep feeding A.J. Brown. That seems like a pretty good strategy for a quarterback, don't you think? Curtis Samuel's having a nice day. He's turned back the clock, looking like OFL 20 Curtis Samuel. Another solid play for Dallas. They didn't get their third and short last time. We'll see if they can do it here. Yep, he's going to get it. The Eagles' defense was there, but Chubb breaks the tackle, gets the play. Our O-line has been selling. Then maybe you should invest in offensive line, kids. That's what I did, and Matt Corral still gets outsacked by 3 every game. So, I mean, it clearly works. On third down, they're going to give it to him. Yes. And that'll probably be the last play before the end of the quarter, I would think. No score change in the third. 17-17. Dallas appears to be moving it. So we'll see if they can regain the lead here in the fourth. To be fair, Patrick Mahomes also has a good offensive line. Yeah, but even so, Matt Corral's gotten outsacked than the other quarterback. It feels like every game we've played in. So I feel like it's kind of a trend. Ironic because a rookie put up... Exactly, a rookie put up 2 sacks against Quentin Nelson, who should be really good. A rookie who has 0 career sacks going into the game. Another good defensive play. Who did we user again? I think we usered the Eagles, right? Yeah, I think we usered the Eagles. That's why I got rid of Nelson. Well, I don't blame you at this point. 3rd and 10, that's going to be a big old plate of nothing. A nothing burger for the Dallas offense. Myles Murphy again. They're probably going to kick. Chris Boswell is pretty good, but this is from 57. Maybe. Yup, he got it. Chris Boswell drills it from 57 yards out by inches. Not enough massage parlors in Dallas, I guess. Clearly not. Deshaun Watson needs to go down to Houston. Carson Wentz and Bryce Young on the Eagles sideline just seems like a weird combination. I don't know why. It just feels wrong. So Dallas is ahead, but the Eagles can get the lead back, depending on if they score and how they score. Was that number 8 again? I think it is. Number 8 sucks. Number 8 on the Eagles, however, does not suck. Although I think he's out of the zone now, but still. Jalen Johnson is trying to do his best A.J. Terrell impression, and to be fair, he's doing a good job at that. If that's what he's trying to do. If not, then I have bigger concerns. As McCaffrey loses like 4. Jordan Davis again. No one can beat A.J. Brown in bully ball. Well, A.J. Brown's a pretty big guy. He's kind of yoked. There you go. Case in point. It happens again. Number 8 gets mossed by A.J. Brown. Is Russell Wilson here? Because someone's getting cooked. Jalen Johnson is getting cooked alive right now by A.J. Brown. Jalen Johnson after reading the script to Week 6 against the Eagles. If only A.J. Terrell was here, then they could do a jersey swap. Game, respect, game. Am I right? Before you say him, check if Frank got a... He probably didn't. I mean, 2 sacks is impressive, but it's also one game. Players get that all the time. If he got like 6 sacks, then I would get it. 3rd and 6. Maybe the biggest play of the game so far. Bryce Young dancing around, and it's broken up. So the Cowboys get the stop. It's buffering for you. Is it buffering for everybody else? Who's that? Is that Jelani Salami? Is he on the Cowboys? Did Jelani Salami just make potentially the game-saving play in coverage? In coverage, no less. It was buffering a bit ago, but not now. Okay, good. So now we're tied at 20. We'll see if Nick Chubb and the women respecter, Deshaun Watson, can drive down the field and win the game. I don't have to buy. That was Eric. Yeah, that would be Eric Kendricks. Okay, that makes sense. Who is Tavai? I don't remember. 2 sacks in a TFL and a W ain't good enough. Just check. Well, to be fair, I don't do breakouts for everybody else, so it wouldn't really be fair. That's obviously a great stat line, especially against Quentin Nelson, no less. But if I don't do breakouts for other people, I can't really do it for you. Good start for Mr. Nick Chubb. I want 8 interceptions at games again, not this. This has been a good game, even though I certainly didn't pick this. Actually, now that I think about it, I did vote for this. I voted for this and the Golden Eagles game. So I was preaching about how the Golden Eagles game needs to win, yet I voted for this one too. That's how you guys know I'm not a sellout. I voted for the 2 best games of the week. I didn't do anything to help the Golden Eagles-Oilers games win. You screwed us over then. Yeah, I did. I didn't even realize I voted for this game. I just voted in the morning not realizing this was going to happen. You're preventing a star from being born. Okay, fine, we'll check. I doubt there's going to be a breakout challenge, but we'll check. If it makes you feel better. And if we checked for everybody, that would just be like too long. So I feel like that'd be kind of pointless. Why is Sam Darnold making us win? Well, he better not make you win this week, or else that would be kind of a problem. Although with how our offensive line is playing and how good the Ravens' front is, I wouldn't be surprised if Corral gets sacked like 7 times. Another good run for Nick Chubb. He is in the zone now, by the way. So Dallas can position themselves to win the game if they manage the clock smart. Oh, he dropped it. Okay. They should run the ball. Chubb is in the zone and choose clock. I don't know why they're throwing it. He should dump it off for Chubb. Chubb's going to go out of bounds anyway. No, he didn't even catch it. And Penei Sewell is hurt. That's kind of a big deal because he's kind of the big man. Now 3rd and 10. Dallas is definitely in field goal range. As we saw Boswell make a longer one on the last drive. And did he get the feed in? I think he did. Yup. Was that Greg Dulcich? Now I hope for us to win this week. Any opportunity to expose Octi as a fraud is a good one. Why am I not surprised? Well, even if we do win, my team does look a little bit fraudulent at the moment. Do an impression of me for the last 2 minutes. I already did it earlier, so you got your one drive. Be grateful. Christian Harris is hurt, so, I mean, if nothing else, the Eagles can call a timeout, but, I mean, Christian Harris is kind of a good player. 3rd and 3 now. Oh, they're going to give him the first down. Wow. So the Eagles are in trouble. I didn't think he got that. Maybe he did. That was close. If Nick Chubb doesn't get that, what do you do on 4th and goal that close? Do you kick the field goal or do you go for it? I would have been interested to see what EA would have done, so I kind of wish they didn't give it to him. But it doesn't really matter as Nick Chubb punches it in on the very next play to put the Cowboys up by 7. On 4th and inches on the goal line, do you guys kick or would you go for it? I'm curious to see what people would do. Because I don't know what I would do. I would probably go for it, but that'd be a tough decision. Because if you don't get it, then you look like a complete idiot. So in other words, if Brandon Staley was the coach, he would go for it, and Eckler would be tackled 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. This situation, you punch it in, go for it, you play to win the game. Safer option, run the clock and kick the field goal. I had a feeling it would be kind of split. Because I think there's arguments for both sides, but I would probably go for it, especially having Nick Chubb on your team, who's in the zone. Maybe if it was like not Nick Chubb, it'd be a little harder, but with him, you trust him to get a couple feet. That should have been intercepted. I feel like it would be poetic justice if Jalen Johnson had the game-winning interception. That would be funny. Staley would tell Eckler to run it 5 yards back. And if Joe Lombardi was still there, it would be a screen 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a 4th and inches. Now 3rd and 10. The Eagles only have one timeout, so they have to score this drive or else there's no chance. Bryce Young goes downfield. It's broken up. I don't know if that was Jalen Johnson or somebody else. Taking a field goal and just asking for EA to let your defense fold like a tent is by play not to lose. Yeah, I don't think I would trust EA either, so I don't blame you. For the game, it is incomplete. Broken up by Eric Kendricks, and the Cowboys are going to hold on to win it. So this ended up being a pretty good game. I guess you guys were right. You can take your victory lap on me. And so what? I believe both of these teams are now 3-3, and they're both now 1-1 in watched. I think both quarterbacks played quite well. They were efficient. They made big throws, and they didn't make any mistakes. So good job by Bryce Young and Mr. Woman Respecter. Nick Chubb played very well down the stretch. Early in this game, he did nothing. McCaffrey, how did McCaffrey have less yards per carry than Chubb? It felt like the entire game, McCaffrey's yards per carry was like doubled. A.J. Brown was very good. Quiet game for Amon-Ra, though. CeeDee Lamb only had 2 catches, but one of them went for like 50 yards, and the other one went for a touchdown. All right, it is sim time. EA, please do not have us losing to a team who actively is trying to lose. Yes, we'll check Frank too. And I don't think I ever switched the Orbit's quarterback thing, so I got to do that too. Yeah, that would have been bad if I did not do that. All right, I assume Frank doesn't, but maybe he does. That'd be funny if he did. No, they do have a weekly award winner. Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes. That makes sense because Patrick Mahomes did carve up our entire defense. All right, we'll switch it back to the Eagles because that's what we originally did. We'll make me wait longer and anybody else who alphabetically is near Bengals. Another 1-1 stream, classic 1-1 stream. I hope to join you. Please invite me to the 1-1 club, please. All right, go team. We play the Ravens. Wow, the Chargers won by a lot. Quite the day for the Explorers. They lose 35-7, and then they lose 44-14. And this team just traded away a first-round pick. Thankfully, not their own first-round pick, but they still traded away a first-round pick. I feel like they might be regretting that right about now. Good win for the Chargers, though. That means nobody's going to finish winless. The Niners lose again, although they only lose by 6 in overtime. Whoa, 26 points in the fourth quarter. I was going to give the Niners a pat on the back. You know, they played well against a really good team. No, you allowed 36 points. Or 36, I can't count. 32 points in the fourth quarter plus overtime. Why do you go by team instead of just looking at the week schedule? Because this makes it more suspenseful and everybody doesn't see their scores right away. Russell Wilson, let Russ cook. He sure cooked today. Wow, Travis Flight was busy. He did a lot, good and bad. Kadarius Toney, Deebo Samuel, Mo Alley Cox, and Jacoby Myers all with over 100 yards. Joey Porter Jr. with 2 interceptions. The Golden Eagles beat the Oilers 41-29, so the Oilers might be coming back down to earth. Jacoby Brissett played really well. I heard everybody was calling him mid. What happened there? Isaiah Thomas, he was also busy. Calvin Mentor went back to normal Calvin Mentor stuff, continuing to look like the best receiver in the league. While Myles Garrett had 2 sacks, interceptions for Murphy, Ward, and hit stick Harry. The Jets beat the Orbits 24-14. Both quarterbacks were pretty average, which I guess is pretty typical for them. Breece Hall played well. IT on fraud watch. I wouldn't really worry about IT. The Oilers were really bad last year, and this year they're not really bad. So I wouldn't really worry about them yet. The Lions lose to the Monarchs 13-20. I see Justin Fields got injured. Cooper Rush had to play, and it looks like he actually played kind of well. He outperformed Aaron Rodgers. My reward for winning a watch game was a letter from the Ohio National Guard. Wow, what a great reward. No sacks. Interceptions over Tavon Young and Brandon Jones, despite losing. So the Lions are now 2-4. The Monarchs have won 3 in a row, or 2 in a row. I can't count. The Nighthawks, after starting 3-0, are now 0-3 as they fall to the Rams in overtime, 33-27. Rain Dakota Prescott was pretty good. C.J. Stroud rebounded. He still lost, but he played better than he did last week. Cooper Kupp and Cooper Kupp Light will both play well. The Oilers lost. The Orbits lost. The Panthers lost to the Titans 27-21, not in overtime, even though it was a 6-point game. Why is Bailey Zappi so good? He has started 4 games for them, and he has played really well in all 4 of them. Is Bailey Zappi him? He might just be. He sure looks like it. The Patriots have won 4 in a row. They beat the Bills for the second time in 3 weeks. This time 24-10. Josh Allen played well. Trevor Lawrence was Zeke got the ball 7 times. Trevor Lawrence had more carries than Ezekiel Elliott. That's not good. The Raiders lose to the Snowhawks 31-20. Your apologies about our offense must be as loud as your disrespect. The Milf Hunter played well. He slightly outperformed Desmond Ridder. Dalvin Cook had himself a day. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence didn't throw a pick today. Progress, not perfection. We allowed 6 points after allowing 51. This team makes no sense. I mean, I'll take it. We won, but this team makes no sense. How do we go from allowing like 500 yards to allowing 155? Matt Corral still got out-sacked because our offensive line is booty cheeks for whatever reason, but he played well again. While Sam Darnold did not play well. This team makes no sense. I don't get it, but again, I'm not mad. At least I'm not mad this week. Jamison Williams and T. Higgins finally played well. It's about time. Sam Darnold isn't as good as Patrick Mahomes. You know what? That's a good reason. That's a good reason. Chase Young with 2 sacks. He finally had himself a game. And an interception for Trayvon Merrick. Good stuff. Good win. I'll take it. Seattle loses to the Steelers 30-41. So the Seahawks go 1-1 today, and they lose maybe the game I wish they didn't lose. Joe Burrow played a lot better today. Mahomes played like Mahomes. Why did Joe Burrow get 11 carries? I don't know, but he played pretty well with those 11 carries. Sky Moore and Tyler Lockett with over 100 yards each. How did Big Frank do? 2 tackles, 1 for a loss, so he just like owns the Bengals and that's it? Why us? What did we do? The Steamers don't seem to score a lot of points. In their last 4 games, they've scored 10, 21, 9, and 19. You're only cool if you went 1-1. You're only cool if you went 1-1 every stream, and your team is like not streaky. Lamar Jackson played very well today. Trey Lance was, because you didn't trade for him, he takes it personally. So does that mean he's gonna like destroy the Chargers, or because the Chargers sent an offer, he doesn't care? Because I didn't send an offer. Then what does that mean Frank Jones is going to do against San Francisco, other than the 0 tackles he had in the watch game? Houston's won 3 in a row. Minnesota had a bye week. The Broncos did as well. The Colts beat the Desperados 35-7. DJ Chark had a gritty today. He did. Send me an offer for Jacoby Brissett. The one thing about my team that like I'm happy with right now is my quarterback. So I'm good. Matt Corral has done everything I've needed to and then some. He's like the only position group where I'm not like underwhelmed. Although 3-3 is not even like that bad, but the run game's been a little lackluster. Our top receivers have been lackluster. I guess Rashad Bateman's been really good. I'll give him credit. The O-line has not been good, and the defense allowed 51 points last week. So yeah, I think I'm good on Jacoby Brissett. The Commanders had a bye week. The Cougars won. We saw that. And Dallas won. Did 3 teams have a bye week? Oh, Dreadnoughts. That's 4. Okay. That's how math works. Because I don't have the Houston Texans playbook, I can actually win now. There you go. Players of the week, Russell Wilson, let Russ cook, Joe Burrow, Foye Oluokun, and Kyle Hamilton. So 2 Cougars and 2 Steelers. Huh. Okay. Let's look at the standings. Currently, there are only 3 one-loss teams. In the North, wow, we're in first place, kind of. The Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers are tied with the Steamers currently a game back. In the AFC South, the Texans are a game ahead of everybody. In the West, the Broncos went 0-1 today, but they still lead because this division is a train wreck. Minnesota and London are atop the North. The Golden Eagles have a slight lead in the South. The Cougars lead a very competitive NFC East. And then in the West, it's the Rams ahead by half a game. Let's look at the injuries. Greg Dortch has only 2 more weeks, while Kareem Hunt is out for 8 now. Elijah Mitchell is hurt for Detroit. I don't know if he already was. Jarvis Landry, that's not new. I don't think these are new. Jalen Waddle, broken collarbone. Welcome to the Jalen Waddle Rams era. He is already hurt. They might be regretting that trade right now. Budda Baker's only out 1 more week. Austin Eckler is out for 3, as is Terrell Burgess. Talanoa Hufanga is out for 8. That's new. Eric McCoy and Jadeveon Clowney are hurt. I think we started with the Eagles, right? Yeah. I skipped the AFC East. Did I? Well, here's the AFC East. New England is 5-1 and in first place. And then, do injuries mess up the depth chart? They honestly might. I know trades do. Or sometimes they do. Madden's inconsistent with that. As for our current draft order, The Chargers and the Niners are the only teams with 1 win. Slide over J.J. Watt. If you give me a good offer, I mean, I don't know if my team looks like a contender, so I'm willing to trade him for some draft picks or young players. So if you give me a good offer, he's more than available. Week 7. This is a good game, even though we've watched Dallas twice. Dreadnoughts and no, Dreadnoughts aren't that good. Never mind. Broncos Oilers isn't bad. Jets play the Bills. Did they already play each other? Actually, I don't think they have. That was the Jets and the Orbits. We play the Rams. That's a good game. Carolina, Mexico City's interesting. Then week 8, we play the Steamers. Broncos Eagles, although again we've watched the Eagles twice. Nighthawks Niners, although the Niners are kind of bad. This is a good game. This is an interesting game. And Commander Seahawks is pretty good too. Matt Corral is 3rd in passing yards. Things you love to see. Rashad Bateman's 2nd in receiving. At this point, maybe I should just treat Rashad Bateman as my true number 1 receiver. And just roll with it. Alright, we'll take a quick look at the stat leaders because I see everybody wants that. Awards would come up in week 9, so that will be after the next stream. Zip and Zappy has the number 1 passer rating comfortably. How high is Corral? Is he in the top 10? No. He's a little bit above average. I would have thought he would have been higher. Who is the worst, and why is it Justin Fields? Yeah, it's Justin Fields. I could have told you that one from a mile away. Nick Chubb is the rushing leader, despite having way less carries than everybody here. Wow, Travis Etienne's in 3rd. Good for him. We'll start with receptions. That is Calvin Mentor. Rashad Bateman's in 3rd. Who needs JMO and T. Higgins anyway when you have Rashad Bateman? Yards is Calvin Mentor. Bateman's in 2nd. And then touchdowns is Cooper Kupp and Kadarius Toney with 9. Where's Calvin Mentor? I think he had 4. Yep, there he is. In case you're curious on why I traded a Hall for Nick Chubb, that is why. Breece Hall has had 500-yard games. Your math might be off, buddy. He's had 3. I don't know where you got 5 from. He has 3 of them. He's playing well, though. Gabe Jackson leads the league in sacks allowed. And then we'll do defense by conference. Harold Landry and Fred Warner have 10 TFLs. Landry leads in sacks. So I see Titans franchise Harold Landry has just flipped himself over here, and he is as good. Then 3 interceptions for Gilmore, which of course happened in 1 half. Derek Stingley and CJ Mosley. Then in the NFC, Myles Garrett leads in TFLs. Carl Lawson leads in sacks. Deshaun Elliott has 4 interceptions. There's Chidobe Awuzie. And then fumble forces, TJ Edwards leads with 2. Fumble recoveries, TJ Edwards leads with 2. How many perfect kickers do we have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 perfect kickers are left. Where's Octavius? How's he doing? Pretty good. Pretty good. The most punts is the Raiders, Lions, and Colts. None of those are surprising. The least amount of punts is Commanders. They had a bye week, so I guess that would make sense. How many kick return touchdowns have we had? Jamal Agnew, that makes sense. It's Jamal Agnew, and it's just him. Well, quarterback leads in touchdowns and interceptions. We can look at that real quick. Touchdowns is Patrick Mahomes. Interceptions is Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Stroud. I thought Lawrence had all of them in one stream, pretty much. That's funny. Yeah, he had 7 of them in the last stream. We need an apology. I never said Frank was bad. How did I offend Frank? All right, so I think that'll wrap up the stream. Guys, trade. What happened? Did the Orbits trade for Trey Lance? How much did they give up? Oh! Okay. Huh. That's a little bit surprising. I did not see that one coming. I thought the Explorers liked Hector. But, okay. All right. So, that's surprising. That'll wrap up the stream. I hope everybody enjoyed. We'll be back early to mid next week. I don't know exactly when, but, yeah, that's the plan.